Okay, so I don't have my laptop mic, so I'm using my built-in mic, but hopefully you can hear me okay. And there's lawn mowing going on in the back, but hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm recording this video before I make any changes, just because I want to record it so you can see what I'm seeing. So if you run, this is where I do all my testing at, because you can really get granular. It's called web page test. You can see the only thing you're really messing up on, or not messing up, the core web vitals. Let me go back here. The three metrics that Google uses to determine speed are largest contentful paint, which has to do with things loading on the screen, cumulative layout shift, and there's complex algorithms behind all this stuff. You know what I mean? I don't fully understand them. You don't really need to. You just need to know what the result is for the most part. This is things shifting around on the screen and total blocking time. So this is called a waterfall chart. So these scripts, not necessarily scripts, but these, I guess, assets or files. Whoops. These with the orange X in them, these are blocking other things from loading. It's not necessary. So this piece of CSS is blocking these things from loading down here. Now, most websites will have um, scripts that are blocking, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a thing. So let me explain how this works. And you may know this. If you do, I apologize. But your web page is 2.5 meg, which is pretty good. The average website is 3 meg, but as you can see, we can really reduce that. And I think that's going to be one of your main reasons why things are loading slow. Let me pause it real quick to check something. Okay, I'm back. Let me check. I was looking at your plugins. It doesn't look like you have any performance plugins installed. So I have a agency license for WP Rocket, which by far and away I think is the one. If you have one single performance plugin to use, it does caching, it does a JavaScript optimization, CSS optimization, all kinds of stuff. So that would be the first thing I would install and check. Sometimes 80% of the time that will fix everything. But then there's that other 20%, which can take me hours and hours and days to get things fixed, depending on how granular we need to go. So that's one thing I would do. The second thing, back to the waterfall chart. So this piece of CSS takes under 0.3 of a second to load, right? So you're loading a lot of CSS actually, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. This JavaScript is very slow. So what you would want to do, and you can do this in WP Rocket, and as I said, I have an agency license for it. I believe it's like $80 per year if you were to buy it on your own. But as long as I'm doing this, you can have it free if you're cool with me installing it. I definitely want to run that by you before I do it. So this JavaScript, you can defer it, meaning it loads towards the bottom, so it would load down here and speed things up. Now, where the problem, everything looks pretty good. All these short little lines are good. But see these long lines? These are images. So this is the image. I'm assuming that's you. And this image alone is a meg, right? So what I would do is, and you can see to go up to the largest contentful paint, so it's having it's having issues slowing down loading that image. And you can see if you click on it, that's exactly what it's pointing to. What's slowing it down is loading this image. So what I would do, I would install WP Rocket and I would optimize this image with some tools that I use here. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try a few things, but I'm going to pause it here. And hopefully what I'm going to do resolves a lot of it. And then I will run it by you to see if you want things to remain. So we'll see what happens. We'll be back. One thing I forgot to show you. So if you go to your website, first of all, if you're logged in, it's going to load slower when you have WP Rocket installed because it doesn't take advantage. And this is with every performance plugin, advantage of the performance features. So if you ever want to test your website loading, just make sure you go to New Incognito and do it there. So it's not going to play with caching. It's not going to have all the extensions installed, etc., etc. So if we click on your image, we can see it's currently, the image itself is 924 by 926, and it's loading at 609 by 650. So we'd want to decrease that. Now there's a lot of other, that shrinking it a little bit alone isn't going to solve the problem. We need to compress it a little bit and do some other things. So that's that, and pause it, and we'll be back. Okay, so I just want to show you what I'm doing. So I optimized the image. It got from 1 meg to 13K. So what is that, like a 1,000, like a 900% decrease? It's too early. I'm actually just too tired to do the math right now. So that's ridiculously a lot smaller. And for the alt text and for SEO purposes, I'm putting Michael Esser, writer and development professional, and I got that from right here, right? So that's cool. So we're going to pause it and we're going to keep going. And if you want me to go through these steps you want to watch the entire process, I can do that for you, no big deal. But I also am cautious about wasting your time, so that's why I keep pausing it. But I'm showing you all the main steps. Okay, so as you can see, the only thing I've done is optimize that image, and I put it as this isn't. I didn't update the actual home page. I just duplicated and called it Ryan Test Draft. So this is the old scores. LCP red, green, green. So as I showed you, the layout shift and the total blocking time is good. This is on the new draft page, which is the exact same thing, except I optimize the image. You're green, green, green. So if we go to the waterfall chart, this is still loading slow. Let me see how big this one is. Yeah, this is a big one too. So I'm not going to modify that one just to save time. I want to make sure, but you get the idea. We can optimize that one too and make it even quicker. So I haven't done the WP Rocket install yet, so I'm going to do that, optimize it, and we'll see if we can get it down even further. Oh, okay, so I'm looking at, you do have WP Rocket installed. Interesting. I didn't, somehow I overlooked that. So let's go to plugins. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I just installed it, and I didn't think it installed, and I tried to reinstall it on accident. So you did not have WP Rocket installed. So let's go to activate it. And without doing any settings, we are going to run the test again. Actually, let me go back here. We're going to make sure it's on. And we're going to preload the cache. That means if you don't preload the cache, the first person that goes to it is going to get, it's going to be slow, but everybody else going to it after the fact, it's going to be cached, meaning it's not going to have to generate all that dynamic content. And then until the cache expires, which I think it's, I think it's like 12 hours or something, and it'll preload it all over again. So let's go to it. It's pretty quick. Oh, that's the first time. Let me try it again. Yeah, that's pretty quick. Let me do it one more time. Let me count in my head. 1 Mississippi 2. So that's like 1.2 seconds. So that's really good. So let's run the test again. So all you do is go here, click it here. We're going to start, and this is just with the default settings. So we're going to pause it. You can see here, these tests usually take about 20 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and pause it. And you can choose, well, let me just show you. So you can choose, like, if you want to test it from locations, there's like 30 different locations from all over the world. If you want to do Chrome or Firefox, there's a bunch of advanced options you can do. And I'm explaining this to you because you seemed like you were interested in how all this stuff works. And you can go to advanced configuration. It's really cool because you can do dimensions and all this stuff. You can ignore SSL cert errors. You can like disable certain scripts from loading. So if you want to try to really troubleshoot, like you could disable ads from running or something like that. So it's really cool. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. 95% of the time, this is all I do. But if you really need to get into it, you can do blocking, which is the other thing that some people do. But I generally just disable the plugin that's loading certain scripts. So let's go check it out. 1906020. Let's see what we did last time. So the last time so the first time it was 6004035. So that's down. Triple. It's a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. As long as it's green, nobody cares. 023, so that went up a little bit. And so this is 272. So this went down, and this went down. And so all of these have decreased. So this is just with the default WP Rocket settings. We may be able to squeeze about 10% more out of it. Let me know if you want me to do that, but I just wanted to give you an update, and I am stepping out, but let me know, and we will go from there. Hopefully you found this useful, and like I said, if you need anything more specific, let me know, and let me just do my plug while I'm here. I also do security audits and security configurations. Most people don't have their sites configured, and it sounds like a hassle until your site gets compromised, right? So I do very in-depth security audits, and I can be happy to do that for you. Just let me know. And then we also do local SEO stuff, so let me know. Even though I don't think you're really local SEOs, that may not be appropriate. But just go to norzer.me. You can check out our services. Yeah, so, yeah, hope this helps. Let me know. See you.